It's Tuesday morning, and the VP of Engineering is vibrating with excitement. They just announced a massive rollout of AI coding assistants, boasting a 40% increase in code output across the entire engineering team. But there's a glaring contradiction in the math. The development team is generating almost twice as much code, yet the actual features are taking longer to reach the users. Our output gauge spikes green, while delivery speed drops red. The theory of constraints states that throughput is dictated entirely by a system's single bottleneck. Optimizing a non-bottleneck doesn't increase speed. It floods the choke point with excess inventory, actively breaking your workflow. Measuring success by typing speed is a vanity metric. It blinds organizations to the actual physical mechanics of how software is built and shipped. This flowchart illustrates the software value stream. It maps the chronological life cycle of a feature, from the initial idea to coding to PR review. A pull request is simply a developer's request to have new code reviewed and merged, then onto testing, and finally deployment. Let's isolate that coding node. When we equip developers with AI assistants, we mechanically triple the speed of this specific step. The fatal flaw is what happens immediately downstream. The next step is human review, and nobody tripled the reviewers. The consequence is an immediate packet slam into the PR review node. Tasks violently stack up, creating a massive traffic jam of unfinished work. Making a non-bottleneck faster does not increase productivity. It solely succeeds in manufacturing massive amounts of rotting, unfinished inventory. The first symptom of this backlog is the penalty of context switching. Developers submit their code and immediately move on to the next task. By the time a reviewer finally looks at that original code days later, the author has completely forgotten the logic they wrote. Quality quickly collapses. Overwhelmed, burnt-out reviewers see an endless queue and begin rubber stamping code approvals without actually reading the logic, just to clear their screens. Because nobody is reading the code, bugs slip through. These errors trigger constant, unpredictable failures in the automated testing, forcing developers to stop, debug, and rerun tests, which drags out delivery timelines even further. This triggers a fear spiral. Delayed, untested code piles up into massive, high-risk deployment batches. The larger the batch, the more likely it is to break the live product, making engineers terrified to push anything live. This chart plots WIP, or work in progress, against cycle time. WIP represents the total number of tasks currently started but not finished. As WIP skyrockets vertically, it drives our cycle time down into a warning state, suffocating the engineering organization. The system hasn't achieved velocity. By throwing AI at the wrong step, the company has merely automated the creation of errors and paralyzed its own delivery mechanism. To cure this delivery paralysis, we have to look away from the keyboards. The actual culprits choking software delivery are rarely technical. They are almost overwhelmingly human and structural. Consider the load-bearing calendar problem. Entire weeks of development time are lost waiting on single-point managerial approvals, uncoordinated cross-team meetings, or vague product requirements that sit idle until someone returns from holiday. This timeline visualizes cycle time, the true metric of velocity. Cycle time measures the total elapsed time from when work starts to when it reaches the user. Notice how the actual coding time is a millimeter-wide sliver, while sprawling wait blocks dominate. Teams must audit their value stream, locate these wait states, and eliminate them. This dramatically compresses the total delivery bar. This requires strict WIP limits. Teams must halt the process of starting new features and focus entirely on pushing existing code across the finish line. Writing code faster in a blind, uncoordinated system guarantees exactly one outcome. You will build the wrong feature faster. True competitive advantage belongs to the teams who master the flow of the entire system. They prove definitively that the real bottleneck in software is never the keyboard.
Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.